Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Emmanuel Aigbogun, they talk about the hardship wey people dey face for Edo State. He say this water wey he hold so, na 150 naira. Na they take dey sell this water before. But now, na 250 naira. Na im take buy am. Make I leave you, make you hear from Emmanuel. Enjoy the video.
Yes, a warm good evening to you all, my conscious, when I mean conscious, ever dogged and ever understanding Edo people. You all know me, and I remain no other person than the yours noble right activist, Comrade Aigbogun Emmanuel. I got into Benin just barely an hour ago, and having gotten into Benin, I took a stop at the bypass, a very terrible stop at the bypass, where I had to look for something to eat before getting into the city itself. And I got a plate of Santana, which I will be posting any moment from now for you. I got it for 200 naira for a wrap of Santana. You see that I'll post it on social media for you guys to see. I bought it at 200 naira as against the initial price of 100 naira. I bought meats that were sold for 100 naira for 200, and it got done on me that I was in Edo State. The truth here is that our people are taking the undue advantage of the removal of subsidy to creating more hardship, particularly with commodities that we produce as a people. That notwithstanding, I want to go straight into the issues. One of those issues I want to bring forward to you is that this is a bottle of seaweed water that I'm drinking. And this bottle of seaweed water that I'm drinking is currently being sold in this facility where I am. I would want to keep the name because I'm not willing to talk down on anybody's business. I'm talking to real economic issues that will affect us as a people. This bottled water was initially sold for 150. It's against 250 now. In most of the quiet places we come to sit down at evenings, probably have a sit out from home and feel relaxed in the city. Now, the core cause for this is that we have lost it from price control. However, I won't be delving into those issues today because I want to speak on the economic prosperity of our people. And I have seen a whole lot of hard talks, a whole lot of criticism, a whole lot of antagonism, a whole lot of hatred that is being poured out against the Tinubu-led administration. You will agree with me that since the APC took over in 2015, Nigeria has since received more devaluation to our naira, to our purchasing power, and to even security as it stands. But in the area of security, I want to give the government, a little mark, but also still tell them to do more. But to the economic issues as it affected those that I decided to speak earlier, we've gotten this chain of unions that are currently a thorn in our people's flesh. As I speak from you, it is much more expensive for you to eat in Edo State than for you to eat in River State, than for you to eat in Cross River State, than for you to eat in Lagos, than for you to eat in Abuja, than for you to eat in Kano, than for you to eat in Delta State. The rate at which our people are being exploited by our own people is a thing we all need to sit down carefully and observe as a people. I think people must make money, people must do businesses. It's not just only cut across the food chain sector, both in the market sector, in the building material sector. Cement, a bag of cement is sold at over 5,400 naira in those states, as against Abuja, where you see for 4,600, 4,500 in most cases. Now, people will ask, why all of this? I have tried to do my own preliminary study, and I discovered that unions are the major chain that control the prices of what commodities are sold or purchased for. As of today, despite the fact that fuel subsidy is still, being removed, you still have petrol stations selling fuel at 360, petrol stations selling fuel at 350, 650, 630, 600, 590, like Green Oil, 620 also, like some other petrol stations we have in the state. NNPC also selling at 598. I took a time to look at all of this, and also ask questions and carry out studies before coming out to speak. We must quickly, as a people, firstly engage those representatives that are currently representing us at the federal chamber. I had tagged my brother Kola Edobaye to this post because he's an activist I've worked with over time, and I see we share same philosophical reasoning when it comes to issues that border on the way forward of our people. We must begin to bring back our legislators to a town hall where we must dialogue on where federal presence must be visibly seen amongst them. This issue of coming to do pocket of street lights, road, pipe-borne water, renovation of classroom blocks is not helping the socio-economic lifespan of Edo people. We should quickly channel these core issues. We find it very difficult to move across the three senatorial districts in the state. I've driven past Auchi to Agbede, I had to join a state road, come out at Agbede also, join the federal road, go to Irua, drove on the back track, join the state road from Irua to Iruepe, from Iruepe back on the federal road, and also all the way down to Federal Road, down to Auchi bypass, and I'm in Benin as we speak. So we must look at these things very paso. We must find a way as a people to keep politics aside. For me, a lot of people might think I am quiet about the Tinubu-led government. Yeah, there's hardship in the town, but when a government wants to take a measure to see how they can, give room for productivity. Yeah, so we quickly need to look into this. Sorry for that interruption. I had a call on my set. It's the only phone I have tracking. For me, I've taken time to study most of these issues that affect us as a people because I want to see changes, particularly from a government I have supported. The Tinubu-led administration, actually wants major change in the Nigerian sector by way of removal of first subsidy. But the question we should be asking our federal legislators across board is, where will this money be channeled into? You have seen the governor, made a statement that this money should be sent to the local government. The local government that he has not really shown so much attention to over a lengthy period of time. And same local government under his first tenure that performed in office for over a period of 2 years, and they have no visible projects to show across the 18 local governments. So we want an Edo that will be prosperous, an Edo that will help each and every one of us. But what we must ask ourselves is that at a time like this, when trillions of naira are being generated from the removal of subsidy, of what quarter gets to what state? And of what quarter of that money that is in excess of our subsidized rights, social infrastructure that we get as a people, of what benefit will they be to Edo State? Do not forget, under Edo State we have 3 senatorial districts. We have House of Rep candidates, we have House of Assemblies. The House of Reps, they also attract projects from the center. So what will we be doing with the bulk of all these resources? And for those people who will tell me that I want to narrow my discussions into talking about Edo State. The reason I'm a Nigerian is because I'm from Edo State. The reason I'm an Edo man is because I come from one local government. The reason I'm an Umwode man is because I hail from Isi, as Ward 7 of Umwode local government. The reason I hail from Isi, and I can call myself an Isi man, is because I'm from a customary community known as Ohada. So we must learn to understand that as how we talk about good governance in Edo State, it can never affect the way of life of the people in Nasarawa State. It can never affect the way of life of the people in Delta State, in River State. Despite the fact that Wike has done so many bridges, so many flyovers, so many good roads, created a lot of infrastructure for its people, it has not really affected the way of life of the people here in Edo State. I can only appreciate the good he has done as a Nigerian, because someday I will find myself there and I will have to benefit from that infrastructure. But as far as I live in Nigeria and I reside in Edo State, my major focus must be on the way to advance the living standard of Edo people. And to the issues, you can see today dollar has dropped to 7.30 to 7.45. To my issues, in no distant time, I will be talking to the federal government, because there's a whole lot they need to do. This gap within the legislature and their people they represent, the gap needs to be shortened. If it's not shortened, if it's not, brought closer to the people by way of engagement, we have seen the way congresses are being held across other countries where parliamentarians engage the people. For over the past decades, we have always seen our legislators either come to throw a thank you party or to do an empowerment program where they don't allow people to ask them questions. They only come to tell people that they are bringing solutions to them, which are in few numbers. The engagement has to change. And my advice to our Edo people, when I talk about Edo people, to our Edo youths, that is why you saw me wrote a petition against some key members in this government, under the Tinubu Obaseki government, led over the issue of courtesy. It is high time our Edo people decide to channel these bulk members they have in courtesan to cultivate our farmlands. If you look at it, food, a society, a clan that can produce food can never be poor. A clan that can produce food, than selling all these vast lands that we have around to developers that will buy and fence and leave them, some that will develop roads without drainages and gutters are being used to build estates where people reside. For us to change that narrative, we should try as much as possible to ensure that we channel this manpower we have under these associations or rather cause groups that are killing themselves. We should channel them to productivity. How do we do that? Even if we don't have industries here, that does not stop us from engaging them in the agro-allied sector. For me, I have this belief that if each of these core groups can bring out 500 members and we put them in different areas across the senatorial districts to man lands and forest reserves that are just there lying low for no economic benefits to our people, we can actually have productivity in terms of food production, in terms of human engagement, in terms of revenue to government. So I think the Edo State government, rather than talk about funding local governments where we know that these monies will end in the factories of these administrators that we find around ourselves, we should rather channel these resources to engaging people who are vulnerable and who think they can actually avail themselves to be a part and parcel of a revolution that will bring about food security and food sufficiency for our people. As I speak to you today, I am saying this to end this broadcast, but I will continuously engage the system. I just came into the state to see how we can, resolve matters that have been pending before I travel. I want to make it known to Edo people that if we fail to put food between now and the next farming season on our tables as Edo people, produce our red yams, have more cassavas for our food chain, to be used as gari and our normal native santus and santana and whatever name we call it, fufu, we would be having a high blow of insecurity. As I speak to you, I've gotten reports that there are pockets of crimes of people coming back again on the street to either snatch phones, snatch the money is robbed and all that. It's the pocket of these crimes are coming up, and it's not healthy for our society. So, in conclusion, I have raised up very many key issues here. I don't want people we are facing an economic overturn. When I mean overturn, the citizens' benefit are being taken from them to be used to revive the economy of this country. This set of legislators that we have in the House of Senate and House of Reps must note that they are at the verge of building a foundation to either consolidate on the aspirations and future of Edo people, or further deteriorate the living standard, the living opportunities, and continuously promote the inequality that have abided in us as a people. So, in conclusion, to those persons who are criticizing me, I cannot be a Nigerian without being an Edo man. And I will say it the way it is at all points in time, even if I support the ruling class as at today. But what I'm really trying to make us understand is that we can do better as a people. Tinubu Obaseki has come out to say that Edo State can survive without the federal government. I can tell you those statements were made on Sapler Road. The videos are in circulation on social media. If we can live without the federal government having a governor like Tinubu Obaseki, I believe we can also annex these channels of these key issues I have raised here. In conclusion, I want to tell Edo people that a better Nigeria is ahead of us. But our legislators in the House of Reps, in the House of Senate, and in the State Houses of Assembly, particularly we in Edo State, our State House of Assembly, with address at Anthony Enahoro Complex, the National Assembly, we all know it in Abuja. If we are able to be on a round table to chart a course, to channel federal government presence in the state, as at to when with proper budgeting that will be faced with in the next couple of weeks when they resume in the House of Reps and the House of Senate, Nigeria and Edo can bounce back and be on the path of economic prosperity with the bulk resources we are currently being enjoying. Because most of you will not know, as at today, if Edo State was receiving 1 billion naira there from the federal government, there is an additional money since the removal of subsidy. Those monies have been collected for over 2 trenches from the state, from the federal government through the disbursement of VAT, and nobody is saying anything about it. Those monies are what the state government is currently enjoying as excess revenues from the federal government. But the question to ask, what are they pumping those resources into to elevate the living standard and the plight of Edo people? I've seen some people say the government wants to give some variables to our people as a way of grants. We must rise up as a people to engage our parliamentarians. I rest my case at this moment. Please remember, I am Comrade Tinubu Emmanuel. I might not be so perfect, but I intend to continuously improve in doing what I know how to do best, and then ensuring that I communicate to my people with the proper information that will guide us as a state. I'm no other person than Tinubu Emmanuel. Thank you and bye for now. Remember, this water is 250 now. Thank you.
Now we don't hear from Emmanuel Aigbogun. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.